Hey yo, everyone. How is everyone's weekends? I shall start us off. What? Oh.
Just continuing the wave.
So I'll start. The children and I went and got our hair cut / trimmed and all of that for the first time in like 7 or 8 months. And oh my God, y'all. I talked to my hairdresser because we go to the same person every time. And I was like, Heather, I think, I don't know if it's my imagination or not, but I think my hair got even denser over the past year. And it's because, like, y'all, I did not complain about it because I did not want to complain about it because it is my hair and it was my decision to keep it this long. But, like, it had gotten to the point where I couldn't even pull it back into like a low braid or anything, or the like tension up here would just pull too hard. So I was like, Heather, I have not had my hair layered since I was a teenager, but I would layered. And she like layered it and trimmed it and stuff. And she was like, yeah, no, it's I don't think it's your imagination. She's like, I too think it got denser. And I was like, well, Fox says I'm aging in reverse. And I'm like, it's a mixed bag. My oldest also just got his hair layered and trimmed because, hey, you want to show off your hair?
Oh, I was about to get my drink for dinner.
Okay.
Well, I haven't made my dinner yet. Sure.
Okay, come show off your hair. He also got it trimmed and layered because he too has very dense hair. And
it's cute.
It's so pretty. Though it's lighter now, so it's actually waving. His hair has waves, which were previously just very flat. And he got and his hairstylist noticed that like his hair had been forcibly grown sideways, so she styled it a little bit more so it doesn't look so forced. So yeah. All right, go on now. My middle went with a mohawk, which we were all very pleased about because that feels very him, doesn't it? Like, and he got the mohawk cut a little, but it's not like short, so it's just like these. Is one of the coolest mohawks I have seen. It's just like there's like layers of waves and stuff mixed in it. But also, if he just kind of like does this, then it falls over. You cannot tell that boy's head is shaved. But yeah, I know she's sleeping. She's sleeping on my sweater. She does that. That's why my sweater smells very strongly of cat and needs to be washed. Are you just imagining, or are you admiring how cute it is?
Yeah.
You just had to share that?
Yeah.
That's fair. I do that too. And then my middle, she decided, after telling me, she was like, Mom, I think I just want my hair trimmed so I can grow it out really long like yours. She got it to like her shoulder, a little longer, and then I told her, I'm like, hey, we're going to the hairstylist so you can get your hair like trimmed if you want. And she goes, I want a bob. She just it's chin length now, so she's got a bob. She's like, I'm done with long hair. So adventures. I'm glad that they so wholeheartedly embrace choosing their own hairstyle and like experimenting and stuff, because it's just hair is a form of self-expression, and they, it grows back. At least theirs will. Their genetics be strong in that area.
Unlike me.
I'll give you some of mine, Jess. My hairstylist, like, there was a small dog on the floor from how much she took off my head.
I'm pretty sure you have as many hair strands in your bangs as I have in all of my head.
To be fair, this is only part of my bangs.
So, I went and let the dogs in because they were on this end of the porch barking directly outside my wall, so nobody wants to hear that. So...
Your graphic, your Be Right Back graphic is really cute.
Is adorable.
Stabby with a... I have let's see. I have I have a bat for if I want to take a nap. Because sometimes we do like 24-hour streams, and so we'll nap during a sprint. I'm out of my mind.
Cute.
We're doing the 24-hour streams.
Also that. I come prepared.
Mhm.
As one should. Heyo.
Figure out how to set
To the
that up.
peoples in the chat.
Oh, to the peoples. I was gonna say the chat
How
is
is
quiet.
y'all's
Tina's not in the chat, but she technically is in the chat.
I am everywhere.
She's all the places.
But yeah, my weekend was me making over my bathroom, which was it was a 4-day production on like when I was getting home from work on Thursday and Friday. I did like sanding, spackling, all that stuff, and then 2 days of painting, installing shelves, all that. I'm running on very little sleep at the moment, but the bathroom, it looks beautiful, and I'm very happy with it. So yeah, I've been like basically completely MIA from the online world because I've just been a painting.
I mean, that's good though. Productivity.
Yeah, it was much needed. It was also like the final part of the apartment that hadn't been tackled in like more than a decade. So
That's fair. Joining from a school field trip in Utah. Well, thank you for joining us.
Did you pack enough snacks?
All the snacks.
I love snacks.
Sounds fun.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Would you do this weekend, Jess?
I worked. I went to the library and picked up a book that I had on hold.
Nice.
I can't say the name right because it's A Death in Door County, and I keep wanting to say country, and I was trying so hard to say county on my live stream on Saturday night that I ended up saying cunty. So,
but you didn't say country.
But I didn't say country. So there's that. I live streamed Saturday. I live streamed yesterday, and I cleaned my house. And oh, look, I found my bookmark that I've been looking for.
Oh, nice.
You're gonna pick up the cat.
I mean,
no, Merlin finds herself.
Yes, Merlin finds herself. Can I help you? Do you need a cuddle? Come here, I'll give you a cuddle.
Always.
Oh. Oh, she looks so happy. That's so cute.
Oh, Merlin loves to cuddle.
She loves to cuddle, but only when she wants a cuddle.
Artemis is the same. Merlin and Artemis are just the same cat in two different bodies.
Yes.
In Sam reading news,
wanting a cuddle.
Oh,
how much Ice Planet Barbarians have you read since last week?
Yeah,
that's what I was gonna say. None, because I have been reading Gideon the Ninth, and I am not allowed to read Ice Planet. Well, I told myself I'm not allowed to read Ice Planet Barbarian until I finish Gideon the Ninth or a physical book, because it takes me a lot longer to read physical books for a variety of reasons. And I mathed it out, and I was like, if I read 20 pages of this book a day, I would finish it by the end of March. So I was like, cool, I can definitely, I can read while the kids are doing their reading. They have discovered that their mother is a slow reader because we'll be reading for the same amount of time. And they're like, yeah, I got 30 pages done, or I got 40 pages done. They're like, how many did you get done, Mom? And I'm like, I'm still reading my 20. You just sit over there. Just leave Mom be. But it's okay. I'm not a sprinter. I'm a marathoner. Last night, I had started on page 80, and I'm like, yeah, okay, let me read my 20 pages. I read 250 pages. The sun was coming out, and I was like, oh shit, my eyes are a little tired. I should go to bed now. So now I'm on page 328. I've got 100-ish to go. Universal funny timing, though, because I'm reading this one, and I started. I watched. I'm catching up on Read with Cindy videos because I'm still behind. She was doing her favorites of 2023, and she starts going on about how the Raylo fandom is taking the publishing industry by storm. And she's like, and recently, she's like, one of her favorites from them is you again. And I was like, pauses what I'm doing, look sober. What? So this is a Raylo fanfic turned novel, and I'm digging it. I'm into it. I am not for or against the ship, so I'm very neutral on it. But then I was like, you know what? I could see it though. I could, at least from the Kylo part. I'm not sure how I feel about the Ren part, but it's good. I'm enjoying it. It has a different format than one would expect from a romance novel.
How so?
So normally in romance novels, the characters, like the love interests, meet, and then over the course of like less than a year or so, they build a romance. Sometimes, especially if it's a second chance romance novel, you'll get like a chunk of time, but then like they break up and then they reunite. Or like they'll be building something and then they can't get together and then they separate, and again a chunk of time and then they reunite. This book kind of does that, but it takes place over like 10 years. And like the first time they meet, they meet because they are having sex with the same person and they are greatly dislike each other. And then like the next time they meet, they're kind of getting along, but then like something happens because of another person and they just like they leave on not the best terms again. And so it's like they keep re-meeting on and off, and then finally like they're both going through really bad breakups and they basically become depression buddies, and they build a like very solid friendship through their like depression and everything. And then feels start catching, but they're like not together because they can't handle that yet. That's where I went to bed. I was like, damn it. So, because I got 100 pages left, so there's got to be some more like character building. But I like that they're not getting together yet because they still both have a lot of like growing to do, and they both have like some healing that they got to do on their own. And I can't wait until they're healed enough to be a good couple, because they're really fucking cute together. They're like they're the kind of couple dynamic that's like snarky and sassy to each other, where like he's kind of like easily embarrassed a little bit, and she is 100% not. So she like makes sex jokes and things all the time, and he's just like, oh my god, Ari, as he's trying not to like show that he's super got that good spot. Sweetie. He's just gonna knock the mic over. RP got up at 3 a.m. Sunday to get on my flight and ended up being delayed 3 hours and then 8 hours for our delayed connecting flight to Utah. So it was like a day.
That's
glad
rough.
You got the end, but it sounds like a drag.
There in the end, I think is how I worked that out.
Yeah.
Glad you got there in the end.
Oh, Giddy. Also, this morning, after I've like read through 3/4 of the book, my Libby is just like, by the way, your library just got this in. And I'm like, you son of a bitch. Oh, well, as long as this wraps up satisfactorily, I will not regret my purchase. But For Gideon the Ninth, I'm getting through it slower than I would like, but that is because there is like it is very like dense. Like I'm listening to the audiobook, but there's still like a lot, and there's they're trying to figure out some complicated shiz and all that, and so I'm trying to like pay attention so I can see if I can figure it out before the characters figure it out, or with the characters. So I actually like I'm trying to pay very close attention to like which house is doing what, and I'm like, oh, it's sci-fi, fantasy.
Can I help you?
So, but I'm over halfway through that now.
You floof.
I didn't get to hear that because I heard a large bang coming from the bathroom and had a panic because I put glass shelves in there. But thankfully, it was just that the shower caddy fell off the wall again. It's happened a couple times.
Well, all I said was that I'm reading through Gideon the Ninth slower because it's so much denser with information and with things, and I'm trying to figure things out with the characters. So I got to pay attention, and it was, oh my god, last week it rained just on and off. So I was like, if I tried to listen to a lot of Gideon, I would have to rewind a lot of Gideon because part of my brain would wander, and then I'd be like, wait, which house was doing what? Thankfully, the people from the 7th house are Septimus, and I know that Sept means 7, so I never forget them and what house they're from. But then there's the Golden Twins. I think they're from the 4th house.
They're either 4th or 3rd.
Yes, that's the thing. They're 4th or 3rd, and then Magnus is from the house right after them.
I can do a quick Google. I could have sworn they are 3rd, but
they might be 3rd.
Completely wrong. It's been a while.
Was Magnus 5th?
Yeah, they're 3rd.
Magnus and his blue are 5th. I know I don't trust the 7th house as far as Haro can apparently throw a bone because she had Gideon do that for her.
Because Hal and Camilla are in 6th, and then Yanthi and Corona Beth are in 3rd. It was wild reading this book because I originally read it in, I think, early 2021 with a friend, and every time Corona Beth's name would come up, I was like, but I mean, I totally understand. It is a dense book to the point where
you read Corona Beth's name and you're like, can't trust this bitch.
Oh, I love her though.
Past 2021.
She's hot.
I was just making a joke about the name, but I mean, Gideon also gets distracted and gives the hot ladies a little bit too much trust because they're hot, and I'm like, this tracks with all the lesbians I know.
It is a thing though of, I understand the whole thing of being dense. Actually, I buddy read it with a friend who had read, was basically reading the books ahead of me. Like I would read the first, she would read the first, I'd read the first, she'd read the second, I'd read the second, which was really helpful because, it was a thing of with the first book, I very nearly DNF'd it and messaged my friend being like, I don't understand what's going on. And she was like, just push through. And I was like, I just have to accept I'm an idiot and don't understand. And she was like, yes, do that. And then it happened that I left off right when, I had nearly DNF'd, right when things get really exciting. Literally a page. I, flipped to the next page and was like, wait a fucking second. I don't want to spoil it, but
I appreciate
in
that.
private message I can say where, because I'm confident you are past the point I was at. But
potentially people be dropping like flies right now.
Oh yeah, then you're definitely past it.
So
Also, way to not spoil, but I mean, it's about necromancy. That's in the.
I didn't say who.
She didn't say which people.
I didn't say who. I would have been surprised if nobody died. So,
But yeah, it is a fun series. It's one that I like because it is so like dense and
I like that Gideon
such.
keeps talking about the teenagers as if the teenagers are like so far removed from her age grouping, and I'm like, girl, you're 18. Girl,
I mean,
you're 18 and Haru is 17. I mean, the
there's
teenagers I think
plot
are
reasons.
14. Well, yeah, but the teenagers are 14, and that is like a big age gap to teenagers. It's just it's funny to me.
I'm like, I don't want to say things without spoiling, but there is a reason why Gideon feels separated from the teenager, and it's not so much their age, but
no, it's also life experience. Gideon had to grow up a lot faster. Like, I know why Gideon did that. Like, there's multiple reasons and there's levels. It's just still funny because she's like, oh, those babies, those poor children. But I'm like, I don't know. They're here, and I don't trust anybody. I don't trust a single motherfucker. Except Magnus, because he was too stupid to be, shady. Kind of. But we'll see. Yeah, I'm enjoying it. I'm trying to figure out things as they go. I definitely, like I said, the person I don't trust the most is that Septimus lady. The one that Gideon's like falling for. I'm like, I don't trust her. I trust Haro with my soul, though.
I don't have a soul.
But yeah. Hey, what's everybody going to be working on tonight while I get our sprint set up?
I will be catching up some past Instagram posts for the year for like what I've been reading, because I haven't even done my January wrap up yet on Instagram. And folding laundry, and probably having a snack.
That's all my laundry I need to fold.
Oh, I've never seen that side of the room before. That was jarring.
It's just the side that's behind me.
But yeah, I'm
Sprint, that's what I'm getting.
Working on plannery things. I might do some knitting, especially because I saw mention of it in the chat, and now I want to. It's like a bug. My roommate started knitting again, and now I'm knitting more. Usually I stop around Christmas time, but we're still guns a-blazing on making a beach cover up.
Did I misspell Boris? I think I misspelled Boris. I'll have to switch to my other account because I can't find me. Why do I have 3 subscribers? Who found me? I started knitting this past weekend. I had tried crocheting, but it didn't feel right, so I'm knitting. Fair enough. They are like very different hand movements.
And it's a thing of when you learn one, it's hard to learn the other because the muscle memory is in your way.
Such, yeah.
I do have actually, because my grandma on my dad's side was able to both knit and crochet, and she made this one blanket that I inherited that has where it's like little rainbowy squares, like a square of each color and a bunch of different colors, but they're all bordered by white, right? And then there's like a big border around. It kind of looks like if Wordle had more colors, honestly. But it's a thing of like, I had one time where like I was like, underneath it, like relaxing, and I looked down and I was like, wait a second. She fully was flexing. This was a flexing blanket because she crocheted all the white, but she knitted the color, when she could have done just one or the other for the whole thing.
Maybe she liked the end textures for one better than the other, but yeah.
I mean, I get my dramatic flair from her, so I wouldn't put it past her to do it as a flex. But rightly deserved, though. Takes a lot of talent. But
Lot of skill, lot of skill. All right, well, for the first sprint, I'm going to go get my shot and then take my children on a walk. So when I come back, I may be whiny. There's like a 98% chance I'm going to be whiny.
98% chance that it's already raining.
All right. Look, my body's trying to go to bed already. It's like, nope, I reject this in the name of all that is Sam. All right, count us down.
I don't wanna.
I will. 3,
Good thing I didn't
2,
ask for
1,
preferences.
go.
And we're back. Also, I just very belatedly realized that I could take my laptop mouse and put it over here and still control my laptop because it's wireless. So I no longer have to like do that to do things on my laptop. It's great.
And now you know.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Kitty.
I know. My face is cold and I smell like the outside, and now you are concerned.
I said Kitty, and Merlin rose up and was like, yes? Like, no, I wasn't talking to you. Please stay where you are.
You're like, no, you just got. Yes, I know. I know. You love it, but you hate it. So, how did everybody do that sprint?
Well, I did the Instagram things that I said I was going to do, and then remembered that today is the they're doing like there's a boycott against St. Martin's Press right now. There has been for like 4 months. And today is like the day of, I can't even remember what the hell it's called, but basically trying to like send a bunch of emails and the petition and content and all kinds of stuff to St. Martin's Press and Wednesday Books. And I forgot that was today. So then I started sending my things and doing all of my stuff. And hilariously, St. Martin's Press, they're closed today.
They heard the protest, and so they closed.
Yes, they have like automatic email responses that go up that say that they're going to be closed on Monday, March 11th. Like, it's not like it's a holiday or anything, you know.
No, it's not. It's like
They're just closed today.
bruh, they're
Weirdly.
just being spiteful.
Just weirdly closed today for some reason. And then that was all I did.
Well, I took my migraine shot, which I should have done last week, and honestly, I kept thinking about it last week, but then just
Didn't do it.
I kept forgetting. Like, I would think, oh, I should talk to Chris about it, and then just not remembering to talk to or message Chris, because it notoriously rains on all the week that I need to take my shot. Like, it'll be sunny for 2 weeks and shit, but the week I need to take my shot, it rains. It's freakishly on time. So, yeah, but it's not too bad. It's technically I'm supposed to take the shots 30 days apart, and it's only been 32.
That's not bad.
Yeah, optimally I should take them between like around 27 days apart because of how my body reacts to medicine. But 30 is the like supposed to, so not bad.
I mostly ate dinner, chatted with friends, and started knitting because it was mentioned. Yeah, I did. We'll see it in the chat, but I do have some advicey things if people need for knitting and not injuring yourself doing it, because it can be quite taxing on the arms.
That's it.
I read something about your armpit.
Yes, okay. I can show you now. So, most people, right, they'll knit like this, right, where the two needles are like, an X. The thing is that if you tuck the needle that you're transferring the stitches onto underneath your armpit and hold it there, then you're not putting as much pressure on your arm to carry the, hold it the entire time as you work. It also gives you a bit more control over the string because you can hold it fully in one hand, as I am currently doing. This hand is just holding the string. I learned recently that this is called Irish cottage style knitting, like the hold.
I was
which is
about to
funny.
say it reminds me of how I've seen like old Celtic ladies knit. So
Well, the funny thing is
I'm
that I learned
especially-
it. I learned it from a Scottish woman, so
that would also make sense.
it
Celtic.
transferred over. But yeah.
Hello, Merlin.
Oh, the boys are cute.
She's sitting there staring at me.
She's like, Artemis is getting pets. Why aren't I getting pets?
Because your name's Merlin, not Artemis.
Oh, after I got my shot, the children and I went for a walk around the neighborhood to grow our Pikmin. I started knitting the past week. I tried read that. I do a lot of crafts with my hands, and crocheting put too much strain on my hands. The cramping pain I got versus how much I was able to get done wasn't worth it. Also, I will be writing on my Naruto fanfic. Currently writing chapter 3, and I'm already having fun with it. Nice. For anyone who's taking up knitting and might struggle with arm strain, and I assume this is the thing
Armpit.
you
Armpit.
just
Yeah. Armpit.
definitely going to right now I'm trying to build the muscle memory / learning the stitches, and then I'm gonna move on to positioning and how to hold the needles.
Use your
Got
armpits.
16 words written.
Yeah.
Nice. I got 180 words written of my fantasy whip. Sweet.
Nice.
I am tired from walking.
I didn't just yawn. Can't prove it.
I was covering up for you, Jess. Sort of. Oh, so in order to motivate the children with reading, right? We've gotten them into the habit where they read for 20 minutes a day. But sometimes that 20 minutes a day equals like 3-4 pages of reading, and them spending most of their time just like playing around and then being like, oh, but my timer went off. So I was like, but I know that they enjoy reading. They just don't like putting in the work to read. So now we've got a thing where when they finish a book, I will log that they finished the book. They get like 1 credit for every 10 pages. And when they get 100 credits, they can get a book for under $20. They can save up, get 200 credits, and then get a book for under 40. Well, they like agreed to this, but they're still kind of until my middle child finished that one. I didn't really have to motivate. He's kind of a fast reader, and he really gets into the books. So like the other two have like attention issues, but he's like, so he got his book, and I was like, oh, well, you can get a free book. Like, what book do you want? And the other two were like, wait a second. How did he get a free book? And I'm like, I only explained this one-on-one to each of you, but here we go again. And then, so now now my youngest, she was all like, maybe if I read for 30 minutes a day. And then so now she's reading for 30 minutes a day. And I was like, reading, not just watching the countdown. So.
Remember, oh, I can't say remember because it may not have been a thing. When I was a kid, it was you read so many books, you got coupons for free pizzas at Pizza Hut.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
They've got AR. The only thing is the children don't care about AR because they have to take a test on the computer, and they are very bad computer test takers.
I don't know what AR is.
Accelerated reader. It's the accelerated reader like program assigns point levels for each of the books, point and like reading grade level. And then you can take AR test, and depending on how well you do on the test determines like how many points you get for that book. So like say it's a short chapter book, you may get like have 10 questions. Each question is worth like 10 points or something. Or each question is worth like 1 point. And then after you earn so many points, you like show your teacher, and they like check, and they're like, oh yeah, you did. And then you got like a coupon to go to the AR pizza party, or like they give you just a coupon for a free pizza from, like, a free personalized pizza from Pizza Hut. So
Oh,
I
the
got
personal pizza too. For
Yeah,
us, it was like, the whole class, and then we shared the party-sized pizza.
no, it's
Ours
like
was a coupon for a free personal sized pan pizza at Pizza Hut. So like your parents had to take you to Pizza Hut.
to get it, but
Yeah.
Man, we
for
missed
me
out
it
on these
depended
personal
on like
pizzas.
what grade and stuff they did it. In middle school, it was very much just the personal like pizza. But elementary school, we had like a popcorn movie party once 6 weeks. Well, they also don't do 6 weeks anymore. Now they do 4 9 weeks instead of 6 weeks.
Ours has always been 9.
Well, yours was ahead of the curve.
Or behind it.
How are you behind? If you had 4 9 weeks, I had 6 weeks, and then we converted to 9 weeks. That makes you ahead in this specific instance.
You don't know, they might have changed it twice since then, instead of once.
I suppose.
Then we could have been behind and ahead at the same time.
Da, 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 da.
I'm confused. There was too many numbers being thrown around.
It's fine.
This is too much math. I didn't
much
know
math.
this was going to require math.
Yeah.
And sign up for math today. Math, all of you is not here.
That's right. I was going to say he's supposed to be, but that is incorrect. He was supposed to be here last week.
Yeah. After he changed his availability on me. How dare. So rude. To be fair, he was like, tentatively, I am free all of March. And then he's just like, nope, not free on the 4th. My bad. And I'm like, sir. If there's a day he is not available, I am guaranteed to accidentally schedule him for that day. No matter what the day is.
Isn't that
That's
always the
just
way?
how he and I exist together for some reason. Well, during the next sprint, I'm like, I don't know if I want to do my laundry or if I want to read. I'm like, I know the book is calling to me now. But once I start reading, I'm not going to want to stop. So I should just wait till later and then just not sleep again. So I have reader problems. And they make life hard. Did you work on your laundry, Jess?
Nope.
I
did the Instagram-y part. That was it.
Right.
And then I got fired.
By who? For what?
By
From
me.
where?
From
Fired
doing
from a
laundry.
cannon?
Because I didn't want to.
That's fair. Are you still not gonna?
I don't know. I'm going to have a snack, and then if there's time left, maybe I'll do laundry. Who knows?
Do you have plans for your snack?
It's going to be a rummage through the cabinets and see what exists snack break.
That's how I picked dinner earlier. Cool. I was going to rummage through, and then I saw that we had leftovers still on the stove from last night, and I was like, and that is dinner.
I am craving a sweet snack, so like, will it be cookies? Will it be a bowl of cereal? Will it be Rice Krispie treats? Probably not, because I would have to make those. I don't know though. Who knows?
That's very fair. Many of my eating decisions when I'm home alone is just like, do I want to eat this thing? I have to make it? No, I'll eat something else. Oh,
I mean, Rice Krispie treats are easy. You just melt stuff and then put it in a pan.
Yeah. That still requires standing over the stove, which some days I just don't have the energy to do.
I mean, I already like swept the floors and emptied and refilled the dishwasher and hand washed some dishes today. So, I mean, I've done things.
Yeah. Like, I wasn't being facetious or anything. I was because of my migraines and the chronic fatigue.
I was giving myself credit for having done things,
Oh,
so I don't
okay.
have to feel bad if I don't continue to do things.
Yeah, it sounds like you got a lot done.
I honestly, I
Plus,
was
you like work a full-time job.
I was so late hopping in because I did not realize how late it was. Like I didn't even think it was anywhere near 8:00. I thought for sure it was like 6:30, and I looked at the clock and it was like 7:55, and I was like,
To
"Excuse?"
be fair, daylight savings did just happen yesterday, so
I
your
know.
internal clock would have been right 2 days ago.
It was way off. It was like I'm this what? Huh? Something is not right.
But I was supposed to have so the moms in my neighborhood, and Sam, sometimes you got to do what you can. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Some moms in my neighborhood in like the neighborhood chat and stuff. It was like, let's like start a weekly like coffee or mom coffee date, and I was like, okay, cool. And then we were supposed to meet for the first time yesterday. I have a feeling that like half of us are really only free during the week, and the other half are like free on the weekends. And I was just like, I can meet up at Sunday on noon. Like, yeah, my husband will still be asleep. It'll be fine. So I go there and I order. First off, let me tell you about my bagel woes. Okay. I saw that they had a bagel sandwich on their menu, and I was like, oh, a bagel sandwich sounds like it would, hit the spot, right? I get up there and I'm like, I order my coffee, and then she's like, oh, did you want anything else? I was like, oh, yeah, a bagel. Because for some reason, my brain just forgot you can order bagels by themselves. I was like, of course, I want a bagel sandwich. But my brain was just like, bagel. And then she's like, well, what kind? Do you want it plain, Asiago? And she like lists some other things, the jalapeno. And I'm sitting here, my brain is majorly malfunctioning because I'm like, I didn't know bagel sandwiches came with like different types and stuff. Because like the other half of me is trying to figure out if anybody else is there yet or if I'm the only one here. And so I was just like, I'll take an Asiago bagel. And then like they make it and I get it. And it's just a bagel with no sandwich in it. And I'm like, fuck.
I did this to myself.
Yeah, I'm like, I did this to myself. So I sit down and like I had messaged the group chat that I was here and nobody's there. And so I start eating the bagel and I'm just like, man, you know what would be real good on this bagel? Cream cheese. And I'm like, I'm in a coffee shop that serves bagels. I'm sure they have like cream cheese in one of those to-go containers or whatever. But I'm like, I don't feel like getting up and looking for it. And I eat the bagel. And I go to take the paper to like wad it up to put in the trash. There was a plastic knife and a container of cream cheese inside.
Oh.
And I was like, first of all, this is amazing that they just automatically give me a knife and cream cheese. But also, I was like, why has this bagel been nothing but plaguing to me? But it was like such a fucking tasty bagel that I'm like, you know what? This is fine. And it was like 20 minutes after we were supposed to meet up, and nobody else is still there. I mean, there's like other people, but none of the other moms are there yet. And I'm like, okay, you know what? They got a comfy ass looking couch that only one other person is using. She's like doing stuff on a laptop. So I go back there, I pull out my book, I start reading, then I just like chill until 1, and then I'm like, all right. Then I head home, and then like one of the moms posts, she's like, hey, sorry I couldn't make it, but I hope y'all had fun. And I was like, I'm the only one that went, but it's okay. And like,
but I had a coffee and a bagel.
I did. I had some me time outside the house, so I was like, it's a win either way. So I figure like one that like life happens and stuff happens. Like the the other mom who was supposed to meet on Sunday, she was just like, I am so sorry. I forgot. I should have set an alarm or something. And I'm like, honestly, I was paranoid that because it was daylight savings that like if we would like part of the reason I waited an hour is because I was like, what if like alarm clocks didn't properly update or whatever? And then like I didn't want anybody else to show up and feel bad that they were the only one there. And I didn't feel bad because
you had a bagel and
I had a
coffee.
bagel, coffee, and I just read my book. It was a good bagel. So I just figured, I'm like, okay, you know, even if like we keep making meetings and then like shit happens and stuff, I'll just enjoy my like coffee time like outside the house for an hour.
Next
But,
time you know that there's cream cheese there, or you can order a bagel sandwich.
Right, I will have learned from my mistakes. But I have a meeting, well, a meetup Thursday. I got to figure out what time we're supposed to go Thursday, which I did tell them I am free to meet most of the week. I just can't drive myself. And she was like, that's no problem. I'll take you. I was like, yeah. So at least me and one other mom will have a coffee date. But yeah,
Because
I'm like,
someone is
I'm like,
driving you.
like it's a group of moms. We all understand mom life.
Yeah. I mean, you never know what's going to happen.
And it had been a really long time since I like could just chill in a public setting and enjoy myself. So, because like even library day when we take the kids to the library and they're like doing their own thing, I still have to, you know, like keep an eye on them and stay alert and shit.
I had a good time last time when I got up early and went to the library and then went to the coffee shop and got a coffee and sat and drank the coffee and read my book from the library and just chillaxed.
Yeah.
It was very nice. I did like it very much. And I'm not even running away from children.
No, it's just nice to like be away from everything every now and then. Just if we lived closer, we could do book coffee dates where we just get books and go drink coffee and read.
We all live so far away from one another. The universe is rude.
It is.
How
we could
dare
do like
You're
a
so
virtual. We could do like a virtual date like Chris and I used to do where we just, because when Chris and I first started dating, we were long distance. He was in Florida, I was in Tennessee. So we would like agree on a fast food place and then we would both go get fast food from it. And then we would come back and we would find a movie on TV and we would watch it together over a call. And so we would eat and watch it like together, even though we weren't together. We could just agree on a day and time to go to a coffee shop and read a book.
Yeah. Did you go and read your book and drink your coffee? You did? Me too. Excellent.
It's just like text, I'm at the coffee shop. I am too.
It's a completely different one on the opposite side of the globe, but here we are.
Doesn't matter. It's
But
the thought that counts.
That's right. It's that if I'm staring at stars in the sky, are you staring at the same one too?
Mm-hmm.
Even though we're in completely different places.
Also, it would be like more convenient if like, you know, you have that moment where you got to tell the other person like, oh my God, this dumbass in this book. Then like you don't have to wait for them to finish reading their paragraph. They'll just check their text at their convenience. That is the most adorable long distance date I have ever heard. I literally want to read that in a contemporary romance book. Ollie, thank you. It was also, you know, back in the day, so we had to find a movie on TV. Before you could just watch party it. And then when the commercials came on, there was that run to the bathroom. It's like, you gotta go pee, I'll be right back.
I'm gonna say a thing that has terrified me forever, and I won't say who because I'm not here to bring people's personal lives into the YouTubes. I mean, they've talked about it online, and that's why I know. But one of my YouTube friends told us, they were talking about how like they dated their spouse long distance before they were together, and we were talking about like when they met in person, and when they met in person was the day that they were moving to the same city to move in together.
Oh.
Do you know how much that terrifies me? Like,
I'm glad that worked out. First time I met Chris in person, my dad and my mom were there. And the entire drive to the airport, my dad was like, he's not some 40-year-old pervert, is he? I'm like, no, Dad. He was like, okay.
I would be so terrified. And this was like 20 years ago. So like before like we had like all of, the road, like now you at least know who you're talking to, because like it would be really hard for you to not be who you are, because I can see you and we're talking. It would be really hard for you to be someone else. Now you could send a crazy stalker to meet me instead of you, but it would be really hard to fake that now. But 20 years ago,
it is a lot harder to fake it. There's definitely still catfishing and stuff that goes out, but it is also a lot
that's
easier.
because people are stupid.
It's a lot easier to verify that the person on the other end is.
If you are getting catfished in a relationship in the year of our Lord 2024, you are a moron. Tell me I'm wrong.
I mean, I do think it's a thing of people being just like tech, like not good with tech and understanding.
Yeah. Also, desperation
also,
plays into it.
Well, I was also gonna say like sort of the hopeless romantic in them too. Really wants it to happen so bad.
So some really smart people can be real
fine.
dumb in certain situations, but
if you're old and you don't understand how computers work, I'll accept it. But someone in our age range, you haven't verified who this person is that you're sending thousands of dollars to every month.
Did you hear about
the thing is different?
Yeah, did you hear about the lady who she uploaded? I think it was like 8.5 hours worth of TikToks explaining this thing, and like the saga is called like Who Did I Marry?
I've seen glimpses of this, but haven't actually been.
I've heard of the show Who Did I Marry?
No, it's I haven't watched the original 8 hours, but last week, not like the 8th, but the week before that, Kenny JD put out a video that was kind of summarizing it a little bit and giving like her thoughts on it and stuff. But it's like this woman married this man who was like she comes to find out in the end everything that he is a pathological liar that has completely and totally made up his entire like life and identity to her, and like it's wild.
People fall for some shit, man.
And there are different parts when like she's like, she knows that she should have seen certain signs and stuff, but basically she wanted to believe, or like she had no solid evidence or anything, right? Just like a gut feeling. So like she would start recording their conversations and stuff because she had a feeling that like it might become like relevant or important. Like one of the things this man lied about, he put a false social security number on their marriage certificate. I'm like, I didn't even know your marriage certificate could actually be filed if you got a false social security.
Right, like how was it even filed?
I have questions. Are they even actually married? Does she need a divorce? Like, oh my God, I heard about this. This girl filmed all of this in like 5 days and it was insane. Yeah, I might watch the full like compilation, but that's also 8.5 hours I have to commit to.
I bet there's a compilation on YouTube and you can watch it in 2 times speed, and then it would only be 4 hours and 15 minutes of your life.
You got me there.
Mm.
I have watched More for Less and Less for More.
That's
I
just
actually
like
don't know about that last part.
that's not even as long as one extended edition Lord of the Rings.
It's not. Gotta put everything into. Her story is so much more interesting than TV. Hollywood today couldn't even write this. There were twists and that's like one of the things that he did was he would tell her about his two sisters, and like there was even a part when she needed to go to the hospital and he was like, my sister will drive you, and she's like, no, I don't know your sister, I don't really want her to drive me to this very emotional procedure. This man don't have sisters. Well,
Who was going to drive her if he said yeah, if he said she said yes?
right? That's like, bruh.
It sounds
She
like
she like
compulsion
talked,
for him, honestly.
yeah. She talked to like one of his brothers and stuff at some point, and she's like, well, how's your daughter doing? And he's like, what? But she like used a name, I don't remember the name, but he's like, I don't have a daughter with that name. And she's like, but we've been sending like shoes and money and birthday presents and stuff to your daughter. And he's like, I don't know who you're sending that to, but I don't have a daughter with that name, and she hasn't been getting anything. So she's just like, wow. He would also stand in front of her having a conversation with his family and no, yeah, like he called his sisters. He called his sisters and talked to them.
Oh my
And they're
god.
like, who are you talking to? So
I wonder if like he was just like a complete manipulator and gaslighter, or if he was mentally unstable.
Mm-hmm.
I think like my theory after listening to all of it is that he had like fucked up his own life so bad and to such an extent that he was basically living out his own like version of the truth and just lying to everybody about it. Like I'm not sure how convinced he was, but yeah, like the extents that he like went to and stuff. Like part of when they were getting a divorce is she found out that he had been telling everybody that they had a baby who had been born in January. She had been pregnant and they had like the due date was in January, but she miscarried. So she was like, no. And I'm like, that feels like his way of coping. So like,
That's wild.
and one thing that I do like about like the few clips that like Kenny shared and how Kenny talked about it is it doesn't completely and totally villainize him. It's just this is a man and this is the wild shit that he did, but also like he probably needs a lot of therapy and a lot of like help. Um part of the lies and stuff that he told her about his work and his job actually kind of match up to his brother's work and job, and like they're twins, so it's kind of like he borrowed part of his brother, like the life he wished he was living. So
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's just,
I mean, not in the sense that it's a thing you should do, but it makes
yeah,
sense.
but it's definitely like it was fascinating to listen to.
Wild.
And I
Yeah.
do hope that like he gets some help, because it really just sounds like this man needs some help. It doesn't sound like, because it didn't seem like he was malicious with most of it. There's like one time he was trying to pick a fight with her because like he said that one of her exes came by, and that like he was like, why do you care? But like she went to her neighbor who had a ring light camera and nobody had stopped by. So
And that's why you get a Ring camera. You always got proof.
yeah.
What are you doing?
All right, but let's go into our next sprint.
Let's do things.
All right, Jess, it's your turn.
57. 3, 2, 1. Sprint.
Hey yo, we're back.
Yo.
So I decided that I'm feeling the effect because whenever I take the shot, it can knock me out a bit. So I decided to do reading, and this is my book holder.
I like it. It's a good book holder.
She looks kind of like a sphinx sitting like that.
She got cozy. I put my book on her, and she like sat there like the whole time.
Well, come here. I know you heard me talk to people. No? All right.
I need to borrow a cat from someone to have on stream with me.
Get a cow kitty. They're camera hogs.
Raja is worse than Merlin, but yes, Merlin is still bad.
What color is Raja? Is Raja also a cow kitty? Oh, a tabby? Yeah.
When I was sprinting Saturday night, I had like the scroll bar across the bottom, and she likes to attack them. And she was literally on her back feet, pouncing at my screen with both front feet. I'm like, you are going to knock my monitor off of the desk, and I'm going to be so mad. I mean, like, she gets in and like bites at it.
What did you do?
Boop.
I'm sorry, I put the book down. She was like, what did you do?
But yes,
That's
cow
my
kitties, they also need the attention.
Yes.
So cute.
Trying to figure out what side to. There you go. Other than that, I got some reading done. I think I got a chapter done. They might be about to reunite again. I hope. It's not years apart anymore. Now we're at months apart.
I think you could tell that me and my roommate were having quite the conversation about she got her perfect pair of jeans that are currently sitting there. So she was showing me her jeans, and then we were talking about the jeans, and also she was like, remind me to tell you the story of the bitch, and now I'm like, oh, there's tea. So
Why didn't you lead with that?
It was a good twist. But
I was very looking down at my book, so anybody who caught you while they were watching, I'm sure it was entertaining. Bella got 432 words more, and I'm at 748 words. Chapter 3. Oh yeah. Hey yo, Mimi. I've been up since 5, and it's 8. I'm sorry.
Ooh.
Why were you up at 5? Oh, it's Ramadan at the moment. And whenever I think of Ramadan, I think of this pair of roommates that I follow on Instagram. And one of them is Muslim and the other one is just a very supportive friend who has insomnia. So he makes his friend breakfast before like he'll make breakfast and then his roommate eats it before the sun rises and then he goes to bed. And I'm like, that's cute. I had to go to work early.
Oh, that's rough.
Did they at least pay you overtime? I don't know what that was, but Artemis she didn't like it.
It was the bird.
You didn't like the bird?
It was Sophie whistling.
She's like, the fuck is that? It's not our bird. We don't have it. I had a dream that we had found 4 guinea pigs. They were not regular guinea pigs, my guys. They had like long ass rat tails. And I don't know. I didn't think this was weird in the dream. But also we were living in my mom's house and not my house, which I don't know about that either. And like one of the guinea pigs got eaten by somebody's dog, presumably our dog, but was not actually a dog that we have owned. I don't know whose dog that was. So we put the other 3 guinea pigs in a cat carrier. It is a wild dream. I am not approved for overtime, so I get to go home early sometime later this week to balance it off. Why did you push my hand off? You're the one who keeps pushing your head into my hand. Oh, this weekend, Chris and I watched a movie called Damsel. Don't watch the trailer. The trailer is so fucking spoilery for like 2/3 of the plot. I usually
watched the trailer.
Well, I was so salty. Normally, I don't watch trailers. I actually, in fact, hate watching trailers, and I avoid them for the most part. I will watch teaser trailers now because teaser trailers, 1, are a lie half the time, and 2 are what trailers actually used to be. So, but yeah, I was like we're watching it, and there's certain things popping up and stuff, and I was all like, I would have figured out the thing because of these reasons. And Chris just laughs, and I'm like, I would have figured it out, right? And he's like, yes, I know. I'm like, that's part of my fun.
It's based off of a book.
Oh, is it? I've never read the book. But it was a good movie. It is Sam approved. I
just seen it last night for the first time, like the trailer, and I was like, put that on the list.
I enjoyed it. We also watched The Black Cauldron because I think Chris had never seen it before. So we watched it. That is also, it's based on a book series. I didn't know it was based on a book series. I thought The Black Cauldron was just based on a bunch of Welsh folk tales, but it turns out it's based on a book series, and the book series is based on a bunch of Welsh folk tales. So that movie is, it's so dark. Yeah, mine's nestling into my elbow. She says, I'm going to sleep now.
Well, I mean, it is bedtime.
Yeah, you'll be disappearing before the final sprint, right? Or during it?
Any minute now.
You will evaporate, just poof.
She just vanishes. In the dark of the night.
10 o'clock is our bedtime. Oh, Merlin. Yeah.
She's like, yes.
She said, this is when we go to bed.
She's gotten cozy in her little swaddle now. She felt me pet her side and realized if I was petting her side, this hand was not on her head. And so then she disturbed her own coziness to get my hand.
Was Merlin's butt just on the mic?
Probably.
I think it was.
The Black Cauldron is surprising that it's a Disney movie. My mom got the VHS as soon as they released it from the vault after years of it being trapped inside. She wanted to collect all the Disney movies, and the Black Cauldron was the one that was missing for a long time because it's so dark. Like, I actually, like, whenever I watched the Black Cauldron, I didn't think the Black Cauldron was official Disney. I thought the Black Cauldron was one of the Don Bluth movies. which for those who don't know, Don Bluth was like a head animator at Disney Studios, and then they had like a falling out, and then he left, started his own basically mini not Disney studio, but still used the same animation style, and that's like where Anastasia and a couple other movies come from. And he made like he made like a lot of the more darker toned and themed movies. So I just always thought the Black Cauldron was a Don Bluth movie. And I'm like, no, it's main Disney. I was like, what?
Yeah, because it was one of the things where they talk about like people think that Anastasia is a Disney princess and she's not, but Alonway is actually a Disney princess because she's from the Black Cauldron and it's an actual Disney movie.
So like in the Black Cauldron, they've got like this one dancer who jumps up on and she like twirls and her entire skirt goes up and you get a panty shot, and I was like, in a Disney movie?
Yep. Well, and I mean the whole Madame Mim is a little bit dark for Disney as well.
Yeah.
But I love her.
Marvelous, mischievous, Madame Mim. I love that Merlin outsmarts her by turning into the cold. Or pox or something. He made her sick.
Not you, Merlin. Merlin with an E. I with an I. You're Merlin with a Y.
Merlin.
Your name is Malcolm. I understand that you're a woman. I didn't know that when you were named. Don't look at me like that.
Malcolm.
It's fine.
Madame Mim is like my mom's favorite Disney villain. So there's this board game called Villainous, which is where you play Disney villains, and it's basically whichever villain can get to their goal first. And my mom was very excited when they announced Mim was going to be in it, and then proceeded to not be able to play her for almost a year. Just because of life and stuff. She finally plays. She's got an interesting one. I feel like the Disney villain you relate to most says a lot about a person. Yes, I do want to put it out there. There is a drastic difference between any character I relate to and the characters I like. Because I relate to so few characters in fiction. But I love so many. For me, it's a cross between Maleficent and the Queen of Hearts. Look, they could have avoided the whole issue with Maleficent if they had just invited her to the party. They were the rude bitches first. You don't break royal etiquette. Like, bruh. I'm not saying she's justified in cursing a baby. I'm just saying. I understand.
I mean, technically, even though she cursed the baby, the curse was actually for everyone else because the baby just got a really long nap. And is that bad?
That's true.
She'd wake up. She'd be fine. Really, it was them who decided to take her out of her home, then raise her as a completely different identity, leading to some existential crisis when she was 16.
Right. So, like, really?
What's up, Glowy
Whose
City?
fault is it anyway?
The king and queens.
Not
This is why
mine.
This is why when the Maleficent live action came out, I was like, I'm alright with this reimagining. I'm not necessarily here for the fact that, oh no, she's evil because her heart is sad. I'm like, we could do without that, but it's fine. She wasn't heartbroken over a man in the first one. We didn't need to add that, but it's okay. That's like in the vast majority of modern evil queen from Snow White retellings, it's always like, oh, well, she's just like jealous and heartbroken because she loved somebody and then her lover was taken away. And I'm like, why can she not just be a shallow, petty bitch?
Right.
Like, why does a man have to be the source of her angst? It makes sense when they do that to Cinderella's stepmama, though. That, like, she loved Cinderella's dad, but he didn't, like, actually love her. And so then she's, like, jealous of his love for Cinderella. Fucked up, but works. I'm fucking with my cat by sticking my fingers in her jaw. She's not appreciating it.
Merlin and I need to go to bed and let the other pupper doggos out.
Hey.
Aw, have a good night.
We
Thanks.
never did intros.
I mean, I think they know who we are at this point.
Doesn't matter. Go
Yeah, we're local.
follow Jess. It's fine.
That's
Oh my
me
goodness.
right there.
I wasn't expecting this. Hold on.
All right, say goodnight to Jess.
Good night to Jess.
Good night to Jess.
Bye. I can't find the exit button. Get me out of here.
She's never leaving. We won't allow it.
Trapped her.
All right, you didn't see the second, which one? Was there a second one?
I
only
remember hearing
I
news that
only-
there was gonna be one. I didn't watch either, but
Did I see it? Oh, I think I did see it. There were more bird people. Bird, dragon, fairy, fae things. Yes, my precious. Look, she just stuck her face in my hands like this. But you did. I put my hands down and then you shoved your face in them. You are a weird cat. I have some coffee over here and I don't want her to drink it because I think it's got mocha in it. So I have a folder just chilling on top of my coffee cup. I did not realize the dog was in the room with me, and I just saw this big shape right there. I was like, the fuck is behind me? It's my dog. She's sleeping on the dog bed. So I think after the stream, I'm going to go lay on my couch and read because the girl is starting to feel real out of it. What are you doing, Tina?
I'm currently sketching panels for one mystery treat because I purposely did not try to work on it over the weekend while I was doing the kitchen or bathroom because I did actually also touch up the kitchen, but it didn't make sense to try to do both over the weekend. So
I got you.
But I'm not too far behind.
In the first one, she wasn't evil because of love. She was evil because the guy she loved stole her wings to gain power and marry a princess. But how is that really that different? Like, in the original source material, Maleficent is a fey queen who is not, she's not like evil. She's a fey queen. She's true neutral. And they don't invite her to an event that they invite the entire kingdom to with, commoners and everything. And they even also invite 3 other fairies whom I don't think are royal. I think they're just fairies. But they neglect, like they don't even neglect. They just purposely decide not to invite her. And like when she gets there and stuff, she's all like, "Oh, like in the movie, she gives them a chance to fix their fuck up. She's like, oh, well, like my invitation might not have gotten to me and whatever. So like in that moment, they have a chance to just be like, oh, hey, no, yeah, sorry, we fucked up. We're so glad that you came. But they were like, no, you weren't invited. And then she goes, oh, well, dear me, this is awkward. And then she proceeds to curse the princess and the entire kingdom, right? Like, petty and a bit egregious, but justified and like works. And then they do the live action and it's like, oh, she was in love with a man and the man betrayed her and now she's evil. And I'm like, but why did we need to involve the love of a man? Why could we not just keep it a huge social faux pas that she was correct? Especially when like the Fae are notorious for like dealing out punishments that do not in fact fit the crime, but Fae punishments. So yeah, that's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that it's not bad that every female antagonist is only evil because of love, but I'm saying it makes sense for that movie. And I'm saying that it wasn't necessary. Like, I'm gonna like, asterisk. If that movie had been about a completely different character, like if it wasn't about Maleficent, I wouldn't have cared. I would have just been like, whatever, kill him, get that bitch back. But because it was Maleficent, and Maleficent is like already an existing fictional character who had a background, I don't like when they reinvent or reimagine evil female villain backgrounds and like the biggest change is, oh, but now they're heartbroken over a man. I'm like, why though? Just let them be evil for the reason they were evil.
At least have them be heartbroken over a woman, just for a change of pace.
That would be a new flavor. Hey, baby.
I mean, is that not? That's kind of the reason that I can't remember which X number it is in Scott Pilgrim, but there is an X who is a lady, and that's basically her motivation for being the antagonist in Scott Pilgrim, heartbroken over a lady.
Which is the bi-furious X, baby?
The Ninja Girl?
Yeah,
4?
do you remember? Number 4? Thank you.
Brilliant, thank you very much. I used to have all the numbers memorized.
We recently watched it because we watched the Netflix adaptation.
I haven't seen the anime yet.
I will. It was really interesting because it's like a reimagining, or not a reimagining. That is not the word I want. It's an alternate universe. So it's like it follows the original plot to a point, and then things start changing, and it's like, whoa, wait a second. It's like, hold up, what's going on? So that was, yeah. I completely agree with you overall. Still love the movie, though. I got to see the premiere of it. I mean, I don't dislike the movie. Maleficent's one of the only live actions I do like. But I can love a media and still nitpick at the things that I don't like about it. No, nothing is perfect, and there is a lot of things that like have room for improvement. And I think it's good to like be able to point out the flaws in media that we enjoy. I think it's actually pretty bad when people blindly defend things that they like just because they like them. Which we were talking about Scott Pilgrim. Netflix did a new adaptation of Scott Pilgrim, which I will say I did not like the Scott Pilgrim movie. Could not stand it. Didn't like several of the characters. Oh, but that Netflix show, oh my god, it made me love several of the characters. And then I went back and I watched the movie, and I was like, I'm convinced this movie is only tolerable to me now because I like their animated counterparts.
Mm.
Like, who is it? Not young Neil. His gay roommate.
Wallace?
I love his gay. Yes, Wallace is amazing in the anime. I love him.
It actually takes place in my city, in Tehran.
Yes, it is.
And yeah, it's funny because like I read the comic before I had ever ridden a streetcar here, because I didn't grow up like downtown enough to be on one, and then I remember sitting one being like, "This is like just like in Scott Pilgrim," but yeah, no, yeah, I'm curious to check out the anime adaptation. It's a thing now. I have so much stuff that I want to watch, and just not enough time to watch it because it's one of those things where I'm required to actually put my eyeballs on it instead of just
I feel that.
having it in the background while I work on stuff. And
That's part of my struggle with physical books. Because if to read a physical book, you can't like have anything else. There's nothing else you can do except maybe eat, and that's depending on what you're eating. You're like, oh, I'll just answer this DM real quick, and it's only like 3-4 words, but you fucking typo all of them, so then it takes like 5 times longer. And you're like, my God.
Really?
Well, that is my struggle. Bella says, I've been knitting while watching anime. I need something to do with my hands. Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I do a lot of knitting while watching TV.
I play phone
There's like
games.
a good chunk of the last dress I did, probably about this much, where me and a friend were watching The Boys, and I was just going to town. He knows too. It's to the point where he'll hold the yarn ball for me. Speaking of,
I have an on and off again interest in, like, I don't want to watch The Boys, but I want to know what's going on. So Chris will watch it, and then like I'll catch certain parts and stuff, and then he'll explain it to me. And I'll be like, oh, okay. It's interesting.
Yeah, it was a thing of me and my friend had caught up with Invincible, and I was like, there's nothing else I really want to watch. I guess we can watch The Boys. But yeah, it's one of those ones where like I am curious about it, but also like I can't watch stuff that's like that dark for too long, like at once.
My part of the reason I don't like actually want to watch it is because it's just like it's gore porn, and I'm not into that. Which I will say, like, I will give The Boys this much. It is a stylistic choice that works for the show and for what they're doing. And the live action adaptation is a lot better than the comics, which, oh my God, the comics was like basically this guy who hates superheroes. He hates superheroes. He hates superhero comics. He hates everything about superheroes. So he made The Boys, who are they're supposed to be humans, but they're basically always superpowered because of the super serum. They're just like always taking it. They're always on it. And then they kill superheroes willy-nilly. Like, it's never a fair fight. And I'm like, how is this different than if you just made like some superpowered vigilantes who fight superhero, right? It's like it's basically just a power fantasy of normal guys getting the ability to kill superheroes. And also, like, in the comics, you like find out that Black Noir is, this isn't a spoiler because it's completely changed in the live action. So like, this
I don't even I'm
not
trying
at
to
all.
remember. Oh yes, I
Black
do
Noir
know
is
who
the,
Black
like,
Noir is.
yeah, all in the black suit and everything. He's a
That's
clone of Homelander. And he's the one, like, he's actually been pulling Homelander's, like, strings and puppeting and stuff, which, like, completely takes away any actual threat that Homelander, like, was. And it's like, what the fuck? So, yeah, the comics, hot mess. Would not recommend on any level. The TV show, I can at least, I understand the appeal of the TV show. And like I said, I'm not into gore porn, but stylistically it works for what they're doing with the show. So, but yeah, I'm like, like the characters, the plot, it's a really interesting, really fascinating show. And there's this one show that came out that's like connected.
Yeah, I watched Friendly Space Ninja's video about it. Gen V, I think, is the name of that one.
Yes. OMG, if you're looking for a good Prime show, Has Been Hotel was so good. I hate that I have to wait for season 2. That one has been recommended many a time. I just have not. I haven't watched anything on my own in months, if to be honest. It's just been books and YouTube. The only stuff I've been watching with people.
That one, my friend Yemna, who was on a previous stream, got me into that creator's work. And Has Been Hotel is a pilot that they've had for ages. I believe it might have even been, no, it wasn't their thesis, but it was shortly after they graduated from animation school. And it's a thing of like, or maybe, no, I think it was beginning of 20. Anyway, for a long time they've been trying to get it picked up. It finally got picked up and released by Amazon. It's really good. Such a fun time. It's also like, the thing is though, like, look up the trigger warnings. Like, it gets dark, and there's specifically an episode where I was like, ooh, I was gonna recommend this to someone, but I know it hits specific triggers. Episode 3, 4, I believe. But
There are these two cosplayers that I follow. They're like known for this giant ass Mario lore plot line that they've got going on. That's quite fascinating. It's the reason I followed them. But they also they'll do like other cosplays and stuff. Their Wanda and Cosmo cosplay is iconic. My brain was like trying to remember that Cade is the husband. I cannot remember the wife's name. No, I was just trying to remember the wife's name. But yeah, and recently they put out a video about like Has Been Hotel cosplays. And they were like, look, they're like, we're about to start uploading a bunch of Has Been Hotel content and stuff. And they're like, and while we love cosplayers of all ages and we're really glad and excited that people are into cosplay and stuff, they're like, if you are below the age of 18, do not tag us in your Has Been Hotel cosplay. They're like, the show is very adult. It's rated for adults, and we don't feel comfortable like with minors sending us content for this stuff. And they're like, and that's just it. They're like, we're adults. This is the boundary that we are setting on the internet. And they're like, y'all who are like cosplaying this stuff, it's like, you really need to consider what you're putting out there and who like you're sending it to and all of this thing. And like at the end they were like, and parents, watch your kids.
Mhm.
And I was just like, I really loved that because I'm like, that was such a good way to handle that and everything because like they have no responsibility to interact with minors or anything, but it's like, and it's just very good and healthy to see them set that boundary in fandom and everything. So, and they weren't even like the way that they did it and the way that they worded it. They weren't judging anybody for letting their teenagers watch it. They weren't judging the minors and stuff. They were just like, they don't want to see teenagers cosplaying these characters because it's a very sexual show, from my understanding. So,
Sort of. I. It's not so much. Well, certain characters, like there is a character who actually I was recently thinking about it. I was like, there's actually a little bit of parallels between this character and Pretty Woman because I watched them pretty close together for the stream.
Watching down.
But it is a thing of like I understand yeah, they're, I mean it's about adults. There are characters who are like having sex, getting into sexual positions, like wearing sexy outfit, like it makes sense.
Yeah, and like you've been around the cosplay community and stuff, the kind of like trends and content that could come out of that like teenagers would easily.
I don't know where you got that idea. I know, like, I haven't been in the con circuit proper for ages. Like, I know.
Oh, I thought like no, just like online, like TikToks and stuff. I thought you.
No. I don't know where you got that idea, but
I just assume all my friends who art do.
But yeah, no, I think the really interesting thing about it, though, I was thinking about it in retrospect as well, is that Hazbin Hotel like is about heaven and hell and like Lucifer is the character, all that sort of thing. But it weirdly like it really easily like circumvents like talking about Christianity just by kind of talking about like everything else around. And I think the secret to that might be that like humans aren't really involved at all. And then there is also the same creator who did that pilot, like released that pilot and then started a separate show called Hell of a Boss. And that one much darker than what is currently going on with Has Been a Hotel. It's also like the first couple episodes have some like real like hard to get through jokes that are fat phobic, which is really unfortunate, but otherwise it is quite enjoyable. And I also completely missed what Mimi said.
Mimi she's gushing about it's so impressive, the designs, the small details, the humor, the angst. It spoke to me on a deep level. It treats its biblical figures like they're mythology or folklore.
I think that's it, honestly. But yeah, it's really interesting to watch this creator's like body of work. But yeah, and I hope new Hell of a Boss comes out soon. Because they left off right when favorite character was getting character development, right when they're like, and I was like, I need to know what happened.
For you, Tina, none for you. I said none for you, Tina, none for you.
At least for now.
Character development. Yeah. I need Fox to also put a logo up here. All right, we're gonna do the last one. 3, 2, 1, go. Bruh, I've gotten to I assume it's supposed to be the emotional like climax of the book, and I am just so over the main character right now. I'm like, oh my god, move on. But it's fine. I was not meant for the emotional roller coaster slow burns. You get like 2, maybe 3 fights where you liked it, but after that, I'm done. I just want them to get together. You were muted if you said anything. How
No,
did everybody do that sprint?
I didn't really say anything anyway, so. I mostly just bopped around on online. I was gonna take some photos of the sketches I did to put them in the panel, but my tablet is almost dead. So I'll figure it out.
I'm sorry, it's almost dead. I think it's also like if you as the author do too good a job at like breaking them up and making it seem as if these 2 people just should move on, I'm gonna agree with you, and I'm gonna be like, they should just move on. Why am I here? they like you're right. This is bad timing for them. Like, just give me other people to care about. So I didn't do much except listen to music. I was at Gangnam Style and this sprint ended.
Nice.
Gangnam Style. Hey.
Such a throwback.
I have just shifted, and now my butt to my knee is numb. So that's fun.
When you said you shifted, I thought you were gonna make a joke about Save Her Soul.
Nope, although I apparently am turning into a shifter from my head. So there's that. I finally finished revising chapter 4. That's Wednesday. Now I get to go into the 22-page chapter. I'm going to revise that. It has also yet again be requested I do a Let's Talk on Critique Partners in Betas. Which I will do one day. That day is just not this month. Yes, Artemis. You left me alone this whole time. I start playing with my ponytail, and you're like, oh, mother, you wanted my attention.
I haven't done any stuff for False Oracle in a hot minute, but the plan is to go in and write an additional POV to work into Act 1, which is going to be a lot of fun.
Nice. Whip Wednesday is possibly one of the best ideas I've ever had for making sure I get work done on my project.
I used to not have a day job. If you had started this last year, I would have been able to join. And every time you mentioned it, I'm like, man.
Just do a Tina version at a time that's inconvenient for everyone but you. And then discover that it's actually really convenient for a couple other people.
I had an idea for a stream, and it would be potentially like a not usual stream, like a specialty stream on a different day, where if I figure out how to get where I can like stream my iPad screen, maybe having where everyone gets a chance to put in 3 messages worth of describing their character, and then I draw that character, or like we set a time limit, right? So like I'm not drawing one person's character forever, but have where like I do character portraits like as we're chatting. I think that would be a real fun exercise.
Why don't you just host that?
Because I don't want to host things. And I figured you would probably want to host for the benefit of, you know, I could draw someone from Save Her Soul or wherever's.
Mayhaps we shall talk about it. Right now, I'm being harassed.
Mm.
It is definitely like an idea. It would be a Monday one. Or hold on, no, you said a specialty stream on a different day. We would have to like definitely figure out schedules. Sorry, my brain is like there was an information process queue, and like my brain was like react to it, and then the process queue is like lagging. So something like a Whip Wednesday, but it's not a Whip Wednesday. It's a Tina Tuesday.
Yeah, well,
Tina Thursday, except not actually on Tuesday or Thursday because you have a day job. But I was looking for
well,
alliteration.
the implication that would be in the evening, not when I work. But yeah, no, I think it would be less like I don't know how much work everyone else would be getting done, because I would basically be doing the equivalent of a drawfee stream, which would be a lot of drawing for me, which would be good, practice. But I think I don't know how productive uh, the crowd would be in that one. Um, but I think it would be a fun if I can figure out the
Yeah.
technical logistics. I think it would be a fun experiment to try. But I also think
Well, for
trying
your
to both
iPad, we
host
could
and
just
draw would be
for your
a
iPad, you could just
logistical nightmare.
join StreamYard from your iPad and do the share screen and then share full screen and then not do anything on your iPad except the drawing thingy.
See, I'm not 100% confident that that would work. I'm not 100% confident that StreamYard will keep open if I switch to the drawing program. I have to actually test it out. Or see if there's maybe a solution
Another
where
idea is your phone. If you join with your phone and then put your phone camera, like if you get a little arm to set it up to point at your iPad, that's how some people do their planner streams.
Yeah, no, I'm thinking either if StreamYard doesn't work like directly from my tablet, like being able to stream from it, I think maybe having where I mirror it to my computer and then share my computer screen. Again, it's a thing of I just have to test out the logistics because I'm like, either one could work. I don't know until I try, sort of thing. And I haven't actually gone into logistics of that yet. Um, but yeah, so I'll figure it out. But yeah, I think it's a fun idea. I think maybe doing the timer version because yeah, my one thing is that I do worry that
I
I'll
can
have
share a
where
timer. Don't worry about that. Like I share a little timer.
yeah, my worry is maybe having where like at first I was like the idea of like having where you limit to 3 messages and I go off of those. But I think there might not be there might be people who go overboard, not intentionally, but just because they're excited or like they don't give me enough description. It's one of those things where we'd definitely have to do a test run to see. But I think it would be a fun idea. Chat, what do you think?
I will just draw my main character and give you nothing else, and then you can just glare at me.
I'll draw a stick figure. I'll draw a stick figure and label
I would
it and put
accept
a
it.
smiley
Wait,
face.
wait. It's gotta be a stick figure in a flowy, flowery dress.
Well, that's a description.
Fair.
At that point, if you're giving me a
then,
description,
and
give me a good description and I'll give you a
then
good
the
drawing.
and then the other stick figure just has muscles.
I mean, the better description you give me, the better the drawing can be. So limiting the description you give is only going to limit what you receive in return.
Tina, we both know your world revolves around me and my writing, so you should just automatically know what all my characters look like. I also would love to. I just want to say, I need you to go back and look at your own face and see how very clearly your facial expression to me says what bullshittery is about to come out of her mouth.
No, I usually expect it.
Just because you expected to, I'm just saying your face, it wasn't like surprised or confused. It was this like gentle acceptance of what bullshittery is Sam about to say, which I thought was funny. Oh wait, first Bella got 430 words this time. Now I'm gonna try and read some of my actual Whip Alina. Currently, half was through chapter 2, and I have 10 chapters I need to read before I can continue rewriting the POV. Nice. Yeah, I'm having trouble joining Sam's Whip Wednesday because it starts 11 my time, and I'm not up early enough to be awake and functioning to work on my whip at that time. That's why it doesn't start at 11 my time. That's why it starts at 1, because I have the same issue. Also, yeah, Tina, I definitely think like I could and would prepare like descriptions and send them to you as like example descriptions.
Well,
and then you could like have an example photo just so that like when we start the stream we'd be like, okay, here's an example of a description and the sketch that would come from like a description like that. So to like give people a good feel for it.
yeah, I think even having where like we intentionally do where like maybe the stream is broken up into time slots and some of those time slots are from people who have already submitted the description and others are for, you know, people in the chat giving me like their live description. You know what I mean? This way we have where like,
yeah,
you know,
it could like the first half could be and last time on Tina draw Z, and then you use descriptions that like maybe people submitted them either to your socials or from the previous stream that you didn't get to. And then so the first one could be those. And then the second half. That too.
Because then you can actually give me a decent description and it's not getting lost in Instagram DMs or something, you know?
This is fair.
But, and then also too, it's a Sam's Realm exclusive that you can submit your descriptions to be drawn. If you don't happen to catch in live. Because that's the thing too, people who don't get a chance to catch in live could still submit their description.
You spoil the realm with all your Tina exclusives.
I love a Tina exclusive. Maybe we just need to have a thread that's just Tina's exclusives in the Sam's Realm. I was actually thinking
do that in the art chat.
Completely separate but related thought. I think the writing questions of the day, which haven't been done in a while, I'm preparing, I ran out of questions, but the writing questions of the day kind of have outgrown the writing channel. Methinks it is time for its own thread, if you are so willing, because I know we had that discussion before.
I was about to say I offered before, but
it just wasn't time.
We wanted to wait, and now it is. Well, it's like more they have grown together, and now people talk about their actual writing things in there. So now it's people trying to balance the Tina questions and the writing, which wasn't the problem before. So yeah, we could definitely like open up a forum for the question of the day, and then yeah,
especially because it's a thing of I try not to I try to do it at around the same time every day, but I also try not to interrupt conversations that are already happening, and you guys keep just having conversations in writing when I'm about to post, and then I'm like, well,
forgive us writers for discussing writing. How dare we?
It's funny because the purpose of the writing questions was to get people talking about writing, so
so it works out.
Tina exclusive.
Yeah, we'll figure that out. Probably the logistics of both we'll talk more about in a couple days after my shot has had time to balance out.
And probably off stream.
More no, we're going to stream it. We're going to be like, all right, people, let's talk logistics. All right. Having writer conversations in writing server.
How dare I?
What was I about to do? Oh,
no.
Speaking of, if you would like to join the realm and get quite a few Tina exclusives as well as some exclusive Sam things, you can join at my Ko-fi down below. It is $1 a month. This is Tina. I don't know
Oh,
if Tina
boy.
wants to do her own outro, so for the moment, I will do her
Yeah.
outro. She is
Please
wonderful,
do my outro more.
magnificent. She's got a website and a webtoon. The webtoon is on the website and is on webtoon and Tapas, the webcomic apps. It is one mystery treat. Shit's gonna go down soon, from what I understand. And Tina was working on it tonight. It's great. I adore her art style. It's very cute, very round. I don't know why that is just the first thing that always pops into it, but it is. And
You
I
once
love
described it as tender. I think in when you did
is,
my
it is.
about me, and I'm like, that's so fitting.
It is. It's very. It's just. It is a feel good art style, regardless of what is going on, and that just makes the like juxtaposition of some of the things happening in it even better for me. But yeah. So
And
follow
please-
her at Cabby at all of the places below.
And please, if you do read, leave a commento, even just saying hi, because it's nice seeing, like, putting names to the people who are reading, not just like the number of views, you know. It really does
Also-
mean a lot in my heart, and I do like them because I don't want to give away spoilers by replying. So
Also, coffin lesbians. Technically, one's a vampire, one's a human, but I'm gonna call them coffin lesbians. That's cute. Cute one. The
they just
deep
sleep
sea
in a coffin
comic.
together.
And I am writing while on Seth El Nasa. This is my channel where I talk about writer things, parent things, and writer-parent things. And also, when I'm reading, I will always gush about the things that I am reading, even if it is an angry gushing. They just need to sort shit out. But next week is our flash fiction free-for-all. And then the week after that, we're having a party. We're going to play some
Yeah.
Jackbox games and probably Scriblio. We'll see. Depends on timing. But yes, thank you everyone
Wi-Fi.
for stopping by.
Yeah.
And Wi-Fi? What Wi-Fi?
Oh, like depending on Wi-Fi connection too.
Oh yes, depending on Wi-Fi connection as well. The internet has been stable though. There was something else I was going to say before we left. I don't remember what it was. I'm gonna remember in like 2 hours. But Whip Wednesday. So Whip Wednesday is technically CB's turn to host, but she is in Canada. So
She's in my land currently.
So I'm a still host Whip Wednesday, but I'm a host it from CB's channel. So it's gonna be a wild change. And
That's fun.
well, like last time I had a meeting and I had to dip out, so she basically just hosted the second half of the stream from my page. So yeah. But we will catch y'all later and see you next time. Bye.
See you later. Have a good night.